Yo, what is up, everybody? My name is Jerome, and welcome to the channel. I hope you all are having a wonderful day. So, yesterday I went to a winner box tournament, went x-1. My only loss was to tier limits. I mostly lost because I just lost the die roll. The guy was a really good player. He's really good at the game, but we both just have really good hands. But like I said, if I just went first, I would have won. But you know, it is what it is. You can't win them all. So, but anyways, I decided to play Tri Brigade Sprites just because I think Tri Brigade Sprites has such a high ceiling, and I enjoyed it last time I played it. So I just wanted to play it again. Switch up the build from the last time, so it is different. There is 50 cards in the main deck instead of 40. I decided to go with 50 because a buddy of mine, he plays 60 all the time with every deck that he plays, which is mostly like PKs. But he always has like every hand that he opens up with is always just extremely playable. So I sat down, I started thinking about it. I was like, you know what? He's right. You know, maybe I should bump up to 50 cards because then I should always have a more playable hand. So that's what I did. I bumped up to 50, and my God, I didn't have a single brick hand the entire tournament. Not one brick hand. Every hand I had was just straight gas, and also had at least 2 or 3 hand traps in my hand, and it was perfect. So I think I'm going to stick with 50 probably from here on out. So anyways, let's go ahead and jump right into it. The simple things I'm just going to go through really quick, which is like obviously the 3 blues, the 3 jets, the 1 red, and then the 1 carrot. If I had to change anything about this, and say if you just want to stick with the 40 card range, I would say cut everything out and just keep 1 blue, 1 jet, and the 1 red, and then just cut all this extra stuff out. The reason why I went like this because, like I said, I wanted to do 50 cards. But yeah, you could definitely get away with just doing 1 blue, 1 jet, and 1 red. You don't need to do this. A lot of people are catching on to that too. I see a lot of people now just doing, like I said, the blue, the jet, and the red, and that's it, because that's basically all you need. No one's going to ever really stop these, and if they do, they're probably just not that educated with how sprites work, because typically you just want to hold everything for just the gigantic or the elf. Next is the Tri Brigade monsters. So 3 kit, the 3 fractal, the 2 Nerval, and then the 2 Caress. I would keep it like this. Like I said, I think in the last video, I think this is the perfect ratio. You know, you want to see your kit so then you can get your Nervals and stuff to the graveyard. You want to see the 3 fractals, obviously, to get your kit to the graveyard, to get your Nervals. And then you only want to see 2 Nervals, and you only want to see 2 Caress, because you're only going to really use these 2 to do all your main plays or to special them from the deck. You're never going to use Nerval except to add Caress, so you don't need a 3rd Nerval at all. I never once needed a 3rd Nerval. Honestly, I've only seen 1 Nerval the entire time I played, but I wouldn't recommend cutting down to 1 Nerval. Definitely run 2. Now the addition to the deck, I decided to play the 3 Nimble Beavers. The reason why is because not only is it a 1 card starter, but also it's a beast. So you can, if you have, which this happened a lot during the tournament, where I opened up with 1 copy of Beaver and 1 Caress in my hand. And just because it's a beast type, you can actually use these guys' effects as well. So I can just use Caress's effect to just ditch this out of my hand, especially summon it. And also, since it's a beast, again, they tie in with all the Tri Brigade monsters, so you can banish this from the graveyard to get a link summon off. And you can always just bring it back too, like because they do special summon from the graveyard with the nimble effect. Next up is all the hand traps that I did, which I went a little heavy because, again, I played 50 cards. So I did 3 Ash, and then the addition that I did is I got lucky and I picked up like 7 of these damn things. So I did 3 Drolls in the main deck. This card, I'm telling you, people are sleeping on this freaking card, man. This is like such an underrated hand trap. I think, personally, I have more success with Droll than I did with Ash this entire event. Literally, every time someone would search one time, I just pitch Droll, and they're just like, it like almost stops their entire turn. It's just like they need to keep searching. This one, like with Ash, it's like you stop 1 search or 1 thing from the deck. Okay, cool. They probably have 2 or 3 other things that can just keep adding things from the deck. So it's like, okay, cool. You can stop 1, but with Droll, it's like they get that 1, but then that's it. They never get another one for that entire turn. So this came in clutch, like literally almost every game that I played. I think, like I said, I think I'm going to start maining like 3 of these from here on out, or maybe 2. It's such a strong card. For the rest of the hand traps, I did 2 DD Crows, 2 Nibiru's, which these only came up, I think, against the E-Hero deck that I played against. Or the Heroes deck that I played against. I think this is the only time that the Nibiru's came up. Again, I think in the last video I said if I was to cut any hand trap, it would be Nibiru. And I still think that. I think Nibiru is like the weakest hand trap out of all of them. And then I did the Ghost Ogres. I'm thinking of probably cutting these out too, just because, you know, they don't do anything against Tier Element. These are helping Tier Elements, if anything. So this is the only thing that this is good against is literally probably just sprites. That's about it. And no one's really falling for this anymore because everyone just sets up, you know, at least one level 2 monster, gigantic sprite, and the red. So then even if you do Ghost Ogre, they can just negate it. So a lot of people are not really you know, too worried about Ghost Ogres anymore, but it does come clutch when it I think I got it off like maybe all of one time, which it actually ended up. I really didn't need it. Like even if I didn't have it, I still would have won. So it wasn't like that big of a change. Obviously the 3 Spright starters and the 1 Spright smashers. If you do go to the version where you do 1 blue, 1 jet, and 1 red, you could probably cut maybe one of the Spright starters, because once you use them, all 3 of them up, the rest would just be bricks. So just keep that in mind once you if you do that route. 2 Tinkies, and I did the 2 enemy controllers. Never seen them, but I do love this card in this deck. Once I saw that they did at Nats with it, I started thinking, I was like, holy crap, that is actually genius, because if you know, there's so many mirror matches, so this actually comes in clutch. I think if your locals has a lot of Spright players and you're a Spright player as well, I think you need to main deck at least 2 of these, possibly 3. If you're going to a major event and you're playing Sprites, you probably need a main deck, again, probably like 3 of these. But where I played at, there was, I think, 2 or 3 other Spright players, and I somehow was fortunate enough not to actually match any of them. But I think, for the most part, I think my build was probably the strongest one, just because they did basically the typical Toad thing. And I'm telling you right now, the regular Sprites with Toad it's trash compared to this. Like, wow, you make a board that literally can just all be shattered with Dark Ruler, whereas this deck doesn't fear Dark Ruler. I got Dark Ruler like maybe 2 or 3 times, and I didn't care. Like, I was just like, okay, cool, I still have my Revolt, so you do you get rid of my field, I'm just gonna Revolt you and then get rid of your field, and then we're back with me being on top. So like, I think this is better. Like I said, I think the pure Spright build with the frogs is the lowest, like the weakest version of all the Spright decks you can do. You like, this has a way higher ceiling. The Live Twins has a higher ceiling. The new stuff that they're doing with the Tier Limits and the dangers and all that has like probably the highest ceiling out of all the builds. And the Ruinix is such a high ceiling as well. I think that when people do the Toad one, it's like they just want it to be really simple and stuff. But again, I think that's the weakest version out of all of them. Moving on, still, we have the 3 Dark Rulers, because we are, you know, like I said, I'm playing 50 cards, so I just maxed out on pretty much anything that can help me go in first or second. And then obviously the 1 Foolish, and then the 1 Called By. Shockingly enough, I playing 50 cards, I drew these quite often, which was kind of pretty funny. The 1 Tri Brigade Revolt, like always. I think if you wanted to, you could play 2 of these. If you really wanted to. There wasn't a single time where I needed a second one, like at all. But there is times where you can play 2, especially in a 50 card version. You can play 2 because you can always use your Spright Elf to get back your level 2s to just pretty much, you know, summon out Bear Room again, or to maybe get back Bear Room or whatever. But so it's always that route. And then you got your 3 Imperms. So I guess these are technically hand traps. That's what some people are basically saying that they are. I think in the other build I did 2, maybe I did 3, I'm not sure, but yeah, I bumped it up to 3, and you know, it's pretty nice. You know, I normally always side deck 1 out. For the extra deck, I changed up some stuff as well. So obviously the 2 Spright Elves, I think this is the new addition that I did. So I was thinking about this from the last build, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna put it in because this is pretty broken. You know, basically your field would look like this, where you have this in the link zone and this right here. So as soon as they activate a monster effect, you just activate Spright Elf, get you know, anything back. It doesn't really matter. Just get the blue or the jet, I typically go for the red if the red's in the graveyard, which 9 times out of 10 it is. So I get the red back, and then I chain this to negate their monster effect, and now I have another monster effect that I can negate, which I would normally just tribute off the elf, or if I have to, I get rid of the pit. But I think this card is just funny just because like a lot of people don't read the last line where if it gets destroyed by card effect or battle, you can just special summon it back on the end phase. And I thought that was the best part because it just kept coming back and they're just like, golly, man. The one Bear Brom, the Ancient Warrior Dragon, Double Dragon Lord, Bearjeet. I never made this. I don't think I ever went into this, and there was never a time where I wanted to go into it. So I think if anything, I would cut this just because actually I think I made this once, but I didn't do anything with it. So I think you can probably cut that. 2 Shregs. Definitely have to play 2 because your first one, Alter Revolt, and you might go into your next one because you're more than likely going to probably either link this off because a lot of times people are trying to negate this guy's effect on your turn, and then you pretty much, it's a dead card, so you just link it off, get your DD Crow from your deck to your hand, and make a new one. So this is a new one too that I put in, which is the Doom Eagle. I was thinking about Tearlaments. I never got to make it against them, but I was just really thinking about Tearlaments because they do their effect. I can just pretty much say chain, put it back in your deck, and now you can't fuse. So that was the whole idea of it. Never got to do it because, like I said, it was pretty much just a die roll that decided the factor. The Access Code Talker, and then pretty much you have the Zeus package, which you got the Sky Cavalry, and to the Downer, and to the Zeus, everyone's favorite play, which I was an idiot in one game because I completely forgot. Because then I think in the other build I wasn't playing Downer. Maybe I was, but I forgot I had this in here. So I just did Sky Cavalry, did his effect, and I summoned Zeus, and I was like, wait a minute. And I went back in my extract. I was like, I'm an idiot. So, and then 2 Gigantic Sprites. Now I think some people are cutting down to just 1 Gigantic Sprite. I think 2 is still the way to go because, like I said, your first board, you're going to always use Gigantic Sprite the first time. Typically it's always going to work because they're going to try to negate everything else you do. And then when you get the Gigantic Sprite out, they're out of hand traps. So they're like, well, I'm screwed. And then that Gigantic Sprite would be dead because you're going to probably tribute it off or whatever. The next turn, you might make another one. So I play 2 just in case. For the side deck, I did a lot of back row removal stuff. So I did the Harpy's Feather Duster, the Twin Twister, just one of, and then 3 Cosmic Cyclones. Like I said, I just feared a lot of back row because I don't know. I feel like I just didn't want to deal with floodgates, and I actually got floodgated like crazy, I think, in the second round. So I'm kind of glad I went like this route. And then I did a bunch of traps. The rest is all traps. I didn't do a single monster because I forgot to pick up a Dino Wrestler. So I did 1 red reboot. Never seen it. Love this card, man. This card came in clutch. Absolutely love it. This was like an MVP, I think, of the side deck. So 2 Trap Tricks. I did 2 D Barriers. I'm glad I side decked these because holy crap. I did 2 Pointers. So I think that's the best ratio, is to do 2 Trap Tricks, 2 D Barriers, and then 2 Pointers. So then you always, because 9 times out of 10, you're gonna, not 9 times out of 10, but like mostly you'll open up with, you know, maybe 1 copy of that, or maybe 1 copy of D Barrier. And if you have Trap Tricks as well, now you basically just open up with both of the trap cards that you really wanted to see. And then I did for the last 3, which the 3 anti spells. These came in clutch as well. Like the side deck was on point, ladies and gentlemen. It was on point this weekend, man. Absolutely loved it. I'm telling you, I had so much fun playing this deck. Yeah, like if you're on that regular Sprite grind, switch it up. I'm telling you, switch it up, start playing, you know, a different variation of it, and I'm telling you, you're gonna love it. It's gonna be a lot more fun. But yeah, I think that was about it that I want to talk about. I'm also working on another deck. I'm gonna be revisiting Virtual World, so I know a lot of people are gonna like that. And I'm also working on a Runic deck. So yeah, I can't wait to get those videos out for you guys. But you know, like always, if you enjoyed the video, please remember to like and subscribe. It does help out other people. It doesn't only help out me, it helps out other people that also need help trying to come up with some deck ideas, trying to, you know, better themselves in this little game of Yu-Gi-Oh, you know, so think of them as well. All right, guys, I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.